folks, in this video we're going to go ahead and jump right straight into it. In this video we're going to be talking about the people of Western North Carolina that's been mitigated and elevated out of their homes and can't rebuild, but yet big tech's investing huge amounts of money and coming in. What's behind it? We're going to talk about these data centers and what they do, what it takes to run them here on this video. Welcome to Deep River Farm, folks. I appreciate you joining me here this afternoon. I said a couple days ago we was going to do some information gathering on some interesting things that are showing up in North Carolina since the first flood of Hurricane Helene and now the second flood of central North Carolina. And that would be that North Carolina is getting some big time investments by way of the big tech companies in the way of data centers. Apple is looking at building data centers in Conover, Hickory, Maiden, Newton, Research Triangle Park, investing over $500 billion and claims they will create more than 20,000 jobs. Amazon is investing $10 billion with new data centers in Richmond County. Microsoft is building data centers in Catawba County, and that's just right there around where Google's at, where Apple's going to build and so forth. The real question is, how many sustainable jobs will there be once the construction is completed? And the answer is alarmingly very few. Data centers are the dedicated areas few ever see that enables the technology that we see, touch, and listen to. They can be huge, they can be loud, but they can employ relatively few people. Now, Apple doesn't do much of its own manufacturing. They use contractors instead. They said it will work with thousands of manufacturing partners spread all across all 50 states to produce more products in the U.S. Facilities. Now, the main data center currently that they've got operating, they built it in 2009, is 500,000 square feet. There's also a 21,030 square foot tactical data center and two others of about 240,000 square feet. The four buildings collectively total 1 million square feet now. They're saying roughly about 400 people are employed, and the investment to date since inception in 2010 is roughly $3 billion. Now, for nearly 4 years, they've said it would continue investing in the facility, and for more than 10 years of evaluation of about $448 million. Now, their power supply there for that facility currently includes 3 solar farms across the street in Conover and in Claremont, and a 10 megawatt fuel cell installation. Now, this location's earned a platinum ranking. That's in the Environmental Design Rating System. Now, Senator Tom Tillis says this is a great win for North Carolina, and that's what he wrote on social media. He said Apple's decision to expand its data center capacity in North Carolina will help create new jobs for North Carolinians. The biggest job creation is going to be when these new facilities are built with construction crews. However, once that's complete, there's relatively few employees. The guards that guard the facility is more numerous than the employees. Now, there's two different types of data centers. There's one's called hyperscaler, and the other one is called compute of edge. Let's call it like that. Now, the hyperscaler, let's talk about that for a minute. It's a type of a large-scale data center. They offer massive computing resources. This is typically in the form of a elastic cloud platform. They're used by organizations to deploy and manage large-scale applications and services for businesses. These are the businesses that are needing vast digital infrastructure, processing, and storage. Who are the biggest hyperscalers? The big three are Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. These are the companies that provide the most extensive infrastructure solutions worldwide currently. Now, your hyperscalers, they're pretty much in an artificial intelligence arms race, vying to train models, push out these AI-driven services. To achieve this, they have snatched up I think it's pronounced NVIDIA graphic processing units. These units demand more computing power from data centers. It takes AI training it takes a lot to compute that. Now, models have been increasing in size about 40 times every year for the last 15 years, which means 40 times bigger each year. That's in terms of the connections that they're making. Now, the other side of this thing is called computing on the edge. On the opposite end of the hyperscalers are the edge data centers, where size is not emphasized like on the hyperscale. It's a type of speed. Don't necessarily need the power, but it needs the speed. You type a question into ChatGPT. That data generally will travel to a cloud data center in Texas and then return to your device. Now, it feels close to instantaneous, but most times there's a little latency before the answer actually spools in and out onto your screen. Now, the edge, it reduces the latency by getting a smaller data center closer to the endpoint. Few mind that the ChatGPT now takes a few seconds, but the other task, waiting for data to traverse the hundreds of miles, can be a major annoyance or even worse. Edge computing will deliver services like this is what they're wanting it for: self-driving cars, robotic surgeries, virtual reality, and these little robots. This is where the edge computing is imperative. I expect we'll see more and more over time. One of the next edge data centers in the Triangle will be from the Boston-based real estate investing firm American Tower. Now, this is going to be west of Raleigh near Cary, and the building promises to offer 4 million watts of power at capacity and cover 4,000 square feet. Now, this is going to be the company that bought out the data center operator CoreSite, and they specialized in co-location or colo, where the clients rent out the spaces, kind of like landlords won't rent out their house. They'll rent out spaces on their servers, and it's kind of like renting office space but using servers. Now, this is the same these gnats. These are the powerful yet fast technology that can get the speed to the compute to do this. The answer lies in the microchips. All right. and that the AI processing units need for the AI. These chips are currently built in Taiwan. Now this is the company or the place where most of your microchips are made all over the world. This is the main location where these are made. How they wound up in Taiwan, I have no idea, but that's what happens. Now, let me stop right there a minute, and I want to make sure I get my facts right, so I'm going to get on another page. Now, do you remember that Trump said the chip manufacturers are moving to the USA with investments from Taiwan? The manufacturing company that makes these chips is TSMC. Let's do some simple math here, folks. It's not rocket science, and remember where you heard this information. TSMC, Infineon Technologies, Samsung Electronics, and SK Hynix are monitoring supplies of high purity quartz, a material critical to the semiconductor industry. Now, your ultra high purity quartz is essential for your semiconductor chips, and they're found only in places in the world can meet this need of high purity, and that is in North Carolina, in spruce pine. Now, isn't that something how these new AI data centers seem to be suddenly coming to North Carolina, just an hour away from the only location in the world where this ultra high purity quartz is found? They did say they were monitoring the supply, right? Well, how better to do it than to be right here, move in and build here and monitor all of that for their own usage. Convenient how they come in and drive up the land prices, build in a 1,000-year flood area, have access to plenty of water and all the power they need, and from a single provider to top it off. Now, that's convenient. That's so they can monopolize prices, be guaranteed all they need. You only need to bribe or pay off one group of people and politicians to make it simple and fast. What do you think, folks? There's also more land available, full of ultra-high quartz and lithium, where the people were forced off their land with no way to build the homes back because their safety net, known as homeowners insurance, didn't pay off. Wonder if they's in on all that too. Is the big plan to get the big parcels of land cheap around large water supplies with hydroelectricity to gain control of the people? One past president said, whoever controls the water controls the world. With the need for more high-powered, high-purity quartz to build the edge computing to help gain control of the people in real time. Now, what about that, folks? Who would have ever thought it, right? Folks, I didn't mean to start the next conspiracy theory here, but what are you folks thinking now? Now, Microsoft is also purchasing a mega site, 1,385 acres out near the Triangle, but they won't say why. They paid $27 million for 1,385 acres. Now, Microsoft, and in that area, the largest employer, folks, is Duke Energy out there where they bought at, in this place called Woodsdale Township in Person County. Microsoft plans to also build 4 more data centers in Catawba County as well, and all facilities have water available from the Catawba River. Meta, or Facebook, has a data center of 5 buildings in Rutherford County, and it is located on the South Fork Catawba River. Apple, investing $500 billion in North Carolina, will also build its data centers in the Catawba River access area in Maiden, North Carolina, where it currently has 4 data centers now. And then Microsoft, they're going to build up there right within, like I said, the Catawba River area. Now, Amazon's investment of $10 billion includes plans for a new data center. It's going to be in Richmond County, out there where Rockingham is at, if that's where the famous Rockingham Motor Speedway is located. Somewhere in that county is where they're going to build their data center, and they will have access and power from the PD Yadkin River system. Now, here's where it all comes together like a big piece of a puzzle. What do these data centers all seem to have in common? The answer is this: hydroelectricity, large amounts of water, access nearby, cheap land, state incentives, and all being built in a recent natural disaster 1,000-year flood area. And all have access to the only power company in all the locations supplied, and that's Duke Energy. Anyone need long-term investment ideas for Duke? Check with Nancy Pelosi first, and you'll see that I'm right. What do you think, folks? Now, on the Catawba River, we're looking at 14 dams. The Catawba River has 14 dams. It includes 11 lakes. It's called the Catawba Wateree Hydroelectric Project. It's composed of 12 hydropower stations, 11 reservoirs, all owned by Duke Power. Now, the Yadkin PD River Hydroelectric Project is located in Montgomery, Stanley, and Anson counties in central North Carolina near the towns of Rockingham. It is operated by Duke Energy, and it is impounded by 6 dams on the Yadkin Hydroelectric Project, owned and operated by Alcoa Power Generating Company. It is comprised of 4 hydroelectric station dams, the Narrows Falls, High Rock, and the Tuckertown, and the reservoir is located at a 36-mile stretch of the Yadkin River, and includes 38,000 acres with the project boundary in Davidson, Davie, Montgomery, Rowan, and Stanley counties. The Tillery and Blewett hydroelectric plants together comprise of the Yadkin PD River project, and these plants are operated as an intricate unit under FERC project with a license number 2206. The Tillery and Blewett plants are located in the southern Piedmont area of North Carolina. So with all these data centers and things coming into western part of North Carolina and the big mega site in the central part of North Carolina up in Person County, with Microsoft being there, and they're building another Microsoft facility in Apple, whichever one it was, in Research Triangle Park, competing with another Edge facility that they're going to build in Raleigh as well. The experts have warned of significant environmental challenges presented by the AI data centers. They typically require hundreds of megawatts of power, enough to supply a mid-sized town of 10 to 50,000 people, and upwards of 5 million gallons of water daily for each data center cooling system. That sounds pretty serious right there. So these power and water demands can bring a significant load to the North Carolina's natural resources. Ain't that something? The question now is this, folks. Will there be adequate water for the people around these areas? Well, you know, using that much water, you talking about a data center now, you know, one company might have 4 or 5 of these. So look how much water these places is going to be consuming a day just to keep their servers cool. Will there be adequate water for the people? The areas, will there be enough power to supply to sustain the data centers and all the people? If not, I'm sure they can flood or, you know, burn the remaining ones out and force them to the location of a 15-minute city that's being planned, you know. And I got to thinking about the 15-minute cities. Ain't this the same concept that Walmart wants to implement by wanting every American to have access to a Walmart within a 15-minute drive or walk? Ain't that the same 15-minute city that's in Agenda 2030? This is what's called in the computer world of computing on the edge, where speed is of the essence, which is the convenience, such as Walmart's plan as well, and in the Agenda 2030. Wonder if they got their idea from that Agenda 2030 to try to have a Walmart every 15 minutes so people would have convenience to it, to a monopoly. So what can we see coming for a benefit from this computing on edge? And that's the smaller data centers built nearby would give a faster speed. They would have to align and work with more people in a more compact location. Hey, is this where the smart city idea coincides here? The edge data centers, they have the green energy, the green spaces, walk everywhere, get anything needed within 15 minutes or less, own nothing and like it. 5G internet available on street light poles for speed availability and the ability to track every move you make and every dollar you spend in real time. Spend more time, spend more than your allotted amount, and your cashless society card no longer works because you're not being carbon friendly, you don't have carbon tax credits, or you're not compliant. You're not supposed to be a free thinker in this whole situation in the Agenda 2030. You're supposed to be a sheep. This just fits right into the agenda of 2030, and that's how it's spelled out. If they need your geographic area or city, they just plan on flooding you out, I guess, or burning you out. Either way, mission accomplished. The 15-minute cities are coming from the evil, greedy, power-hungry global elite. And who are they? They are the deep state. They are the ones that say, do as I say, not as I do. They want population control. They want you eating plant-based meats, the fake meat, genetically modified vegetables and other foods, a cashless society, and control over the people. And they want you compliant, and they want you to be in line. So that's what you're supposed to be. If you don't believe they'll burn you out, ask the people of LA, that Palisades area. You know, they want all that area to be built into a smart city for the 2028 Olympics. So I expect anytime in the near future they're going to be deemed condemned where they can't build, and you're going to see the drastic build of Los Angeles come about for the Olympics. Now, I'll leave you with that, folks. What's everybody's thoughts? Am I looking at this in a realistic way, in your opinion? That's what I want to know. The pieces to the puzzle are on the table. Are these the pieces that are fitting together, or I'm just not seeing the whole picture here? Am I overthinking the whole situation here, or is it a coincidence? Maybe my math is off a little bit, but the equation is sort of pointing that this is a good answer in a multiple choice question. Sure is lining up. What do you folks think here on this? Got all these data centers coming, all the demand for water, power. They're all lining up on the Catawba River or on the Yadkin PD River, and then you've got this one long big massive purchase in Person County by Microsoft, and they won't tell the reason why. Now that data center could be powered by Hyco Lake or Mayo Lake, and I think that's part of the Roanoke River Basin, the Roanoke River. And I didn't do a whole lot of research on it because that's so vague up there of what they purchased. They do have another Microsoft up in Boynton, Virginia. They do have a facility up there. I don't know how far that is from it. It can't be too awful far. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes from that location of Woodsdale Township that Microsoft is looking at. But folks, I just find it ironic that these big tech companies is coming in here and doing all this building in a 1,000-year flood area and looking to possibly source our minerals for chips and to monitor them in their own words. They're monitoring them. And you've got investments coming from these Taiwan companies to make these chips here. And it just kind of looks kind of strange that it's all falling in line, and all these locations that they're doing this, and people's been flooded out. There's lithium all over the mountains. There's this quartz there, and it's all kind of lining up. So I hope I'm not reading something into this, but just thought I'd share this with you folks and let you see what my thinking is and what I'm kind of looking at, and I'd like your thoughts and feedback, so leave a comment. I appreciate you joining me here today on Deep River Farm. Y'all have a blessed day.